Welcome to the video. In this video, we're going to be going over the 7 faceless YouTube niches that can make you $10,000 per month. But to make this exciting, I'm actually going to rank them for you, going from some of the best to the worst niches so that you pick the best one for you. All right, let's dive into it. So the first niche that we have is as you can see here, the police chase niche. So here you can see that dash cam, police cam, it's a very popular niche. You've probably already heard about it before. I'm just going to open it up right here. And so this is a really good niche for many reasons, but as you can see, a channel like this right now, this is a pretty high performing channel. It's making almost 100K per month just from ad revenue alone. 17 million views, pretty moderate RPM. So the money that you're making in your pocket per 1,000 views is obviously quite high. So let's talk about why this is a good niche, and just you can see the type of content that it makes. You have all these videos that have generated, at least 1 million views, hundreds of thousands of views, and a lot of them are still getting views right now. All right, so the pros and cons of this type of niche. First of all, we have the fact that it's high intrigue. People want to see different, violent acts that are taking place. It's just the nature of things. So that's why this is a really good niche, because the topics themselves are really highly intriguing, which gets people naturally to want to click on the videos. Also, the content's evergreen. So like I said, people will continue to watch these for months and years to come. And then there is a moat. So basically, just to explain, if you want to get this type of footage like you see here, typically you would have to do a Freedom of Information Act request to get certain footage, or you're just pulling it from online. But if you're getting that original footage, one of the nice things about it is if you have a system in place to get that type of footage, no one else, or it's going to be very hard for someone to come and copy you, which basically means that it's a good niche that if you do it right, it's going to be hard for competitors to really enter into the market and really release the same quality content that you're releasing, meaning that your channel will probably have greater longevity into the future. Now, let's talk about the cons. So because this content is pretty sensitive in nature, many of your videos can be demonetized, and that's obviously not great, especially if you're spending money to make them. Then footage sourcing, like I said, it's not the easiest niche to get footage for. So if you struggle to get the footage, you're not going to be able to make the videos, obviously. And because of the nature of these videos, there's not really a way to sell products through them. Brand deals are basically non-existent. So you're only really going to make ad revenue, but as you can see, it can be pretty lucrative. So we're going to be putting on our table chart or our tier list, we're putting Cop Cam in the A category, and reason being is that high revenue potential, high intrigue, and it can have a moat if you set it up properly with unique footage. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is Seniors Secrets. Okay, so in this particular case, as you can see, people want to learn about things that are going to be potentially impacting people's health as they get older. We're going to open up the channel here, but you can see a channel like this, it's already at the $14,000 per month mark, and it's pretty new, right? Getting a couple million views a month, and the RPM right here is very strong, 744 per 1,000 views, right? Now, why would you start a channel like this? It's evergreen in nature, right? So as you can see here, these videos of health checkups that people need to have over 70, it's going to be relevant now, it's going to be relevant later. So that's great, because if you're someone doing this alongside your 9-to-5 job, you don't necessarily want to have to churn out content every single day. If you can make a good couple videos per week that allows you to grow and monetize, that's ideal for your setup. Now, the other good thing is the production cost is rather low, because as you can see here, it's really just stock footage informing people of these different topics, which means that you're not going to be breaking the bank to make these types of videos, and they're not even very long. So that's another great aspect of things. Now, the cons is that you're only going to really be able to monetize with ad revenue, but if you're okay making this type of money, obviously then you're good to go. But there's a lack of a moat, so because of the fact that this content is very easy to produce, oftentimes what you're going to see is that these types of channels will kind of get run down over time because everyone else tries to pursue them. But again, these types of channels have been on the platform for years, and it's just about finding a new angle, which back before it was longevity, now it's seniors health, maybe it'll be youth health after, who knows, right? But the whole point is that these types of channels can make a really good income if you do it right. So because of this, seniors, we are going to put this actually on the C tier. And the reason being is that, the longevity of this type of channel is not super high, and ultimately you're kind of just waiting for viral videos, because as you can see right here, a lot of them don't do particularly well, but then you'll get these breakout videos that get like 100K, 250K, and ultimately, those are the ones that are really driving up the channel. But you are probably going to release quite a few videos on this type of channel where you're not necessarily going to be ROI positive, but it is what it is. All right, on to the next one. So we're going to be moving over and looking at the third niche, which is niche number 5. You have walking tours. So you may not have seen a channel like this before. So if you're unfamiliar, then, just hold on, I'll show you. And so you can see here that it's basically walking tours through different places. So you can see here like Monaco, Swiss streets, here you have Cannes. And so on this type of channel, basically what people are doing is they're getting people in these different cities to source footage, just walking through the different areas. It's obviously intriguing to people because if they can't travel to these places themselves, then they're going to want to basically watch what the footage looks like without actually visiting. So this channel right now, getting almost 2 million views, is racking up, just over 11,000 per month. And you can see that the ad revenue per 1,000 views is quite strong, right? So it's almost $7 per 1,000 views. Now, one of the things I really like about this niche is that it is evergreen. So clearly videos about people walking through cities is going to be relevant today and into the future. And the other thing that's cool is that it does actually have a moat. So most people wouldn't think that it does because it's just like travel footage. But how are you going to get the footage of these different landscapes, right? Well, typically you'd either have to get someone in that city to record it, or alternatively you'd have to have a really good connect for the different footage for these different places. So this is why this is a good niche, because it is actually a little bit harder to replicate and copy than many other types of channels. So if you want something that's going to last a little longer, you're good. But the problem is, again, if you don't have that connect for the footage, it might be a little tricky. The other thing is, it's just walking through cities. So to be able to monetize this outside of ad revenue is going to be pretty hard. But again, the income potential, especially with the moderate RPM, is going to be worth its while. So we're going to be giving this particular niche, when I can get back to it, we're going to be giving this niche, the walking tours niche, an A. So we're putting it in the A tier because, again, having a moat's very important for you to be able to build something that allows you to generate views over time, months, years down the road. High RPM, very low chance of getting demonetized because of the original footage. So it is a really viable niche once you get it going. All right, let's go to the next one. So now we're going to be going to check out niche number 4, which is US real estate. So let's open up this channel so you can see what it's all about. Now, as you can see, this channel has 80 videos. It's already got 26,000 subscribers as at the time I'm recording this. And you can see that the channel is making roughly $13,000 per month with just over 1 million views per month, okay? And you can see the reason why is because that RPM, because they're talking about the economy and real estate, is very high. So it's very seldom that you're actually seeing faceless niches that are really paying this high per 1,000 views, which allows you, as long as you can generate a good amount of views, to really rely upon just ad revenue to get by. Again, maybe your goal is not to make 10K, it's 5K. Well, then you only really need 500,000 views per month, and you would be able to make that amount in your actual pocket. It's not CPM, right? It's RPM. So if we take a look at what kind of content this channel makes, you can see here it's talking about the worst cities to buy a home, the housing crash. And you can see all these videos are basically just stock footage, but the topics are obviously of high interest to a lot of people living in these certain places. So why I like this type of channel, and I'm going to add some new ones into the mix here so it's not just the same reasons. Negativity bias. A lot of these videos are negative based, so where things will crash, etc. Well, what that means when you're focusing on, negativity is that people are going to be more drawn to bad news than good news, aka just go watch the news and you'll see that. It's also repeatable content. So where you have top 10 worst cities to buy a home in Texas 2025, Next year, you're going to do 2026. Then the year after, 2027. So you can repeat the same winning videos year after year after year, which allows you to have basically like a built-in content plan for your channel. Also, the cost of production is low because they're using stock footage, which is great. But there's a lack of a moat because, again, just about anyone can make these types of videos. So naturally, channels like this will start to see some decline in views as the market becomes more saturated with these types of channels. But if you get in when the going's good, it can be a really lucrative niche to enter into. And as you can see, the channel just started uploading like a month ago. So again, this is a good opportunity if you're watching this video early on after I release it. It's also probably a good time to share it with you. You should probably subscribe to the channel so that when I release more of these, you're first to know that these channels actually do exist and you'll be able to jump on them faster. All right, so let's talk about this niche right here. So if we go back to our tier table, I'm gonna put this as a B tier. And the reason being is because, again, while the RPM's high, while the videos are easy to make, the challenge is that it is relatively easy to copy this type of channel. So while you can make the content year over year, there is a high susceptibility that this niche will be overrun in short time, maybe the next year. So again, depending on what your goals are, if you want a fast cash grab, could be a good niche. However, at the same time, it may not be something that's going to be able to pay you for, let's say, years to come necessarily. Okay, now let's talk about niche number 3, which is the space niche. So we're going to open this up so we can take a look at it in a sec. So here's an example of late science. So as you can see here, the channel is getting roughly 2.5 million views and generating roughly $19,000 in the last 28 days. So one of the reasons for this is because of that high RPM. See, it's almost $9 per 1,000 views, which is really good ad revenue potential. But I want to share a couple reasons why I really like this niche. So number one, the content's evergreen. So you can see here things like, what's the most dangerous thing in the universe? That's never going to change. Okay, so that video is going to be something people are going to click on now and into the future. Credibility jacking. So basically, you're actually able to leverage popular scientists in your videos. So James Webb said this, right? I'm sure there's other examples here. Basically, the James Webb discovery, what you're seeing is that you can actually leverage popular figures and associate them with the videos to get more traction on them, which is, again, a really good way to grow a channel, especially as you're beginning. And there's multiple income stream opportunities here, which is to say that you can get brand deals, affiliate offers, because it's more educational based. So you can have companies like, Skillshare, Squarespace, Brilliant promoting on these videos. It's a really good opportunity for you to integrate beyond just ad revenue. But there is a lack of a moat because, again, it's kind of stock footage being used. So how much these videos can really be replicated is pretty high, just given the fact of how they're produced. But again, it's a good niche. And where do I put it on the list? I'm going to put it as an S tier. So why S tier, right? Because number one, expanding beyond just ad revenue, plus it already has a high RPM, plus the content's evergreen. So it's a really good channel if you're working a 9 to 5 and you want to build something. You don't have to crank out content every single day. There is an opportunity for faster growth by credibility jacking. So it is a really good niche to enter into if this is something that you're thinking about starting for yourself. And just to be clear, if you have unique goals for your channel, you want to make a certain amount and you want to learn how you can do that with my help, just click the link in this video's description and you can learn more about what us working together would look like. 2 more niches and then we're done. So here's the second last one. We have celebrity deaths. So here you can see that we have a channel where it's basically sharing videos on celebrities who have died, celebrity deaths, etc. So how much can this really make you? Well, this channel is getting almost 2 million views per month and it's making just over $10,000 per month just in ad revenue. You can see the RPM is not the highest on the list, but it is still pretty moderate. And so why is this a good type of channel to build? So high intrigue, because again, death is obviously something that's, pretty ominous. And so this attracts a lot of attention. You can create videos around popular figures. Like here you have, Ozzy Osbourne, you have Hulk Hogan. So people are interested in these characters, which means that People will be more inclined to click on them. Also, too, these videos are evergreen. So, people who died in the last few days, yeah, okay, maybe that's not as relevant in the long term, but, people we lost at certain time periods, it's going to be relevant going forward, right? And then also low production costs. These videos are nothing crazy. So you can see here that it's basically just images of these certain people. Again, you can make this, with just basic images and a script, so it's not too crazy. There's no animations, no nothing, so the production cost is going to be relatively low. And then let's go into the cons. So there's really only a single income stream with this type of channel, which is going to be that there's only a single income stream, which is ad revenue. You can't really get brand deals or affiliates or sell anything from this type of content. And there's a lack of a moat because basically anyone can put these pictures together and make a video out of it. So it's just food for thought that, building something like this, again, could be a little bit of a shorter term play, especially if you don't have some sort of production style that's a little bit more unique in the market. So it's for this reason that I'm going to be putting this niche in the B category because it is a good niche. It can make you money, but the problem is it's a little bit too easily emulated. And also there's only one way to earn ad revenue, which is that. And then it's not really that high of an RPM as well. Now let's talk about the last niche, which is going to be cartoons. So here you have the channel No Villains Are Safe. So you can see it's really focused around content that's talking about villains in cartoons like, Simpsons, Family Guy, etc. SpongeBob SquarePants, as you can see. So this channel is doing just under $13,000 per month, but it's getting 5 million views per month. So the ad revenue is actually quite low here, which is not ideal because it basically means that you're going to need to get a ton of views on your channel to be able to make any real money. But reasons why I like it: celebrity jacking. I mean, people know people like Patrick from SpongeBob. They know Quagmire from Family Guy. So people are naturally going to be more inclined to click on these videos because of the recognizability of these characters. It's also evergreen. So videos like How Long Would Squidward Be in Prison is obviously going to be a video people are going to be able to watch years down the road. This one though, copyright, again, kind of problematic because you're using footage from these shows, so you can get flagged. And also, you can't really monetize outside of just ads. So that's really why this may not be necessarily the best type of channel, but it is not too bad of a channel to grow, which means that I'm going to be putting it as an A tier. Even though the RPM is very low, I think the view potential is really high, and the ability to grow this channel fast, just due to the fact that it's around popular figures that you probably already know, is a good enough reason to start this type of channel. And if you want to work together to do this together and grow and monetize your own channel, just click the link below and we'll be able to connect. And I'll see you in the next one.